The expansion of the chessboard in Tulsa King Season 3, Episode 2, The 50, indicates that this season will be about more than just Dwight's survival. Legacy is important in both Bloodlines and Bourbon. A ghost-filled distillery, one of the quintessential Tulsa King moves, funny, extravagant, and yet precisely the sort of narrative this show feeds on, was the disclosure that Theodore Montague's distillery was situated on a secret cache of $150 million worth of 50-year whiskey. The stakes instantly increased as Chloe led Mitch, Dwight, and the others into the cemetery. It seemed like a treasure hunt gone awry. Despite not being a distiller, Dwight is able to spot opportunities. Ever the optimist, Mitch wants to think that vehicles aren't as dirty as Bourbon. Bodie, in typical Bodie way, is more interested in teaching Dwight about bungholes than bottling, while Tyson simply sees another plot. The contrast between, no really, that's what they're called and show some respect for the ladies was invaluable. Chloe is clear, though, that selling whiskey isn't the only goal. The goal is to preserve the remnants of her father's legacy. She is also not going to back down. Once more, Jeremiah enters. I don't think I've ever seen a figure who is both sanctimonious and frightening, but Robert Patrick's Jeremiah is definitely settling into villain mode. He hides everything behind scripture and ceremony, such as offering grace before meals and keeping a fire burning by his side, but when it comes time to take action, he lets his henchmen handle the grunt labor. It says it all to see Walden thrashed to within an inch of his life for simply being in Dwight's sphere of influence. Blood is left to others. Jeremiah doesn't get it on his hands. The true terror, however, is his control over Cole. Cole walked back to his father with a wound from Mitch's porch battle, apologizing like a whipped dog after Chloe had rejected him. Jeremiah's response was unsettling. He didn't even believe that a hospital was necessary. Instead, as his son cried, Dad offered to cauterize the wound with a branding iron. This may be my favorite through-line of the season, since it shows how well Dwight and Jeremiah contrast with one another. Jeremiah dismantles his family to establish authority, while Dwight creates a family out of outcasts and misfits. Dwight views everyone as family. Jeremiah is indifferent to family. There is a moral conflict arising in addition to a business one, and to be honest, this Bible thumper will never have a chance at the pearly gates as Dwight does. Cole and This week, I got the opportunity to speak with Bo Knapp regarding Cole. As Drew on SEAL Team, who seems like he might be Cole's cousin, Knapp managed to win over my critic. That interview is scheduled for tomorrow. The wait is worthwhile. Let's just say that Cole is intriguing for the time being because while being obviously damaged by his father's violence, he still longs for his acceptance. His interactions with Chloe show a youngster who has been fixated on her since he was a young child and finds it hard to comprehend why she doesn't feel the same way about him. His interactions with Jeremiah depict a son who will suffer in order to gain attention. There are so many aspects of Cole's behavior that make me want to slap him, but there are other times when I want to rub his head and wrap him in a warm blanket. And what about that Spencer moment? How can you suddenly despise this man? Even though Cole's motivations weren't totally good, stopping a sexual assault in the parking lot was the first indication that perhaps he isn't completely lost. Despite not knowing how, he aspires to surpass his father. Cole would eventually join Dwight's side if I were writing this novel because Dwight shows individuals the respect and loyalty Cole has never had at home. It's unclear if the show will make it there, but the promise is there. Dwight can develop a better man by mentoring someone like this. A good man, but not necessarily a good person. Dwight converts opponents into family and allies. And whether they like it or not, Dwight has no problem enlisting someone who isn't a friend into his social circle. They aren't even aware of what hit them half the time. Although we know Dwight is in charge of that operation, Bill Bevilacqua's "what's with this guy" attitude toward Dwight gives him the impression that he is doing business with him on his terms. Ever the self-promoter, Cal Thresher is also a candidate for governor. After the nightmare from Tulsa King Season 2, you would think he would avoid Dwight, but he has witnessed what Dwight is capable of when he sets his mind to it. The digital payback of Bodie shown that he is still grieving for Jimmy's passing, even if Tyson was able to butcher 50 years worth of whiskey by smashing open a bunghole while clowning around in his Cybertruck.